we can't talk about the fallout from the election without talking about the legacy media. MSNBC, CNN, all the acronyms you can think of, they are losing their minds. Remember, this is the same regime media that told everyone for months on end that Biden was fighting fit and quickly switched to saying Kamala's the best thing since sliced bread. We can't possibly do better than this. And the world saw the first candidate that was literally invented by the media, had no track record to speak of, had no achievements to speak of. Her own party would never have chosen her had she been subjected to the normal process instead of being a captain's pick that everyone then fell in line behind. And now they have to eat humble pie after such a comprehensive win. I love this tweet by David Sachs. He sums it up beautifully. He says, this is a bankruptcy moment for the legacy media. They shrieked Nazi, fascist, traitor, insurrectionist at the top of their lungs for years. The country didn't believe it. Their spell is broken. Their credibility is destroyed. It's a new dawn. But of course, we can't skip past showing you a few clips. Here's Vance Jones on CNN. The guy is fighting back tears, talking about the people for whom this is an absolute nightmare.
It's people who woke up this morning with a dream and are going to bed with a nightmare. And those people didn't deserve to be respected and held and talked to. Those are the people who are going to pay the price for whatever Donald Trump decides to do.
Yeah, but Van, how do we know that those people didn't vote? A large portion of those people aren't part of the people that elected Donald Trump.
Well,
right? I think that's a good part of the electorate. And the black women, the party, the Democratic Party, let those black women down.
Ah, that pesky one conservative that they sometimes have on a panel or two, just eating Jones alive there. But no one could take on Joe Scarborough after this endless spiel as to what a monster America had just elected as president.
We still have an electorate, 70 million plus, that will be voting for a man who said he was going to assassinate for treason the chairman of the Joint Chiefs because he didn't support him on January the 6th, who has said just in the recent days he was going to execute Liz Cheney with a firing squad, 9 guns pointed and shooting at her face. A man who has said that he was going to shut down CBS because he didn't like how they edited an interview. A man who said he was going to be a dictator from day one. A man who said he was going to terminate the Constitution. A man who said he was going to use the Army and he was going to use the National Guard on his political opponents. I literally could go on all day.
Of course, 50% is untrue and the other 50% is taken wildly out of context. He was another one of those pesky conservatives that somehow made it onto the panel of CNN, talking about how this is nothing to write home about. This is simply millions of Americans taking their rightful revenge on an administration that has treated them just like the garbage that Biden called them about 10 days ago.
I'm interpreting the results tonight as the revenge of just the regular old working class American, the anonymous American who has been crushed, insulted, condescended to. They're not garbage. They're not Nazis. They're just regular people who get up and go to work every day and are trying to make a better life for their kids, and they feel like they have been told to just shut up when they have complained about the things that are hurting them in their own lives.
Scott Jennings just nailed it. I don't think we need all that much detailed analysis. That is what this election was. That's exactly what it was. And despite the legacy media, despite all the coverage, 85% of it being negative, despite the deep state being against this guy, Hollywood, all those celebrities that we just talked about, $100 billion over, actually, $100 billion, not $100 billion, $1 billion in funding for Harris, and the lunatics literally trying to take this guy's life. He prevailed anyway. So it's legacy media outlets like these that are have to sit around now eating humble pie live on air to the entire nation.
Well, Joe Scarborough said he could go on all day. I wish he would go on all day because it'll just send more people over to the Trump camp. I mean, David Sachs had it right when he said that people saw through this stuff. They worked out that it was nonsense. You know, the calls that he was Hitler, they worked out that that was nonsense. And, I mean, imagine my shock to find out that Donald Trump is so literally Hitler that this is how they responded in Israel to his election. These billboards have been put up congratulating Donald Trump on his election to president in the United States. There it is there. Oh, yeah, because, you know, he's literally Hitler, right? So they're celebrating him over in Israel. And, of course, the other thing is, as you mentioned before, Liz, you know, they tried to prosecute him every which way. I mean, dozens and dozens of cases that they tried to bring upon him. And, of course, this will all come to naught now, despite all the lawfare that they tried to use upon him. He's been elected, and that basically means all of these cases will fall over because, A, they won't be able to continue to run them, but they've got no point anymore.
Yeah.